Why teaching compassion is essential for building a peaceful, united, and prosperous world. The world needs more than progress. It needs compassion. Human civilization has achieved remarkable progress. We have advanced technologies, modern healthcare, artificial intelligence, space exploration, and instant global communication. Yet, despite these achievements, millions of people continue to experience war, violence, poverty, injustice, discrimination, loneliness, and social division. This contrast raises an important question. Why does conflict continue in a world that has made such extraordinary scientific and economic progress? One possible answer is that while humanity has invested heavily in intellectual development, it has not given equal attention to cultivating compassion. Teaching compassion is not simply about encouraging kindness. It is about helping people develop the values and behaviors that enable peaceful coexistence, responsible leadership, and sustainable prosperity. What does it mean to teach compassion? Compassion is the ability to recognize another person's struggles and respond with understanding, kindness, and a genuine desire to help. Teaching compassion means helping children and adults learn how to respect the dignity of every human being, listen with empathy, resolve disagreements peacefully, practice kindness and fairness, accept differences without hatred, take responsibility for their actions, contribute positively to society. These lessons can be taught at home, in schools, universities, workplaces, and communities. Like literacy and numeracy, compassion is a skill that can be strengthened through learning and practice. Why compassion is the foundation of peace. Many conflicts begin long before violence occurs. They often start with prejudice, anger, fear, intolerance, misunderstanding, or a lack of respect for others. Compassion addresses these attitudes before they develop into larger social problems. When individuals learn to understand different perspectives and value the well-being of others, they become more willing to cooperate rather than compete destructively. Peace, therefore, grows from everyday acts of compassion rather than from agreements alone. Compassion strengthens families. Families are where children first learn how to interact with others. Parents who demonstrate patience, respect, honesty, unforgiveness, and kindness create environments where children develop emotional security and empathy. Children raised in compassionate homes are more likely to build healthy relationships, respect diversity, resolve disagreements peacefully, care for their communities, become responsible citizens. Strong families become the foundation of strong societies. Compassion education creates better schools. Schools influence future generations more than almost any other institution. Alongside academic excellence, schools can help students develop qualities such as integrity, responsibility, cooperation, emotional intelligence, respect, teamwork, leadership, community service. Students who understand compassion are often better equipped to work collaboratively, solve problems peacefully, and contribute positively to society. Education should prepare young people not only for successful careers, but also for meaningful lives. Compassion benefits every nation. A compassionate society is better positioned to address many social challenges. When compassion becomes part of a nation's culture, it can encourage greater trust between citizens, reduced social conflict, more ethical leadership, stronger communities, better mental well-being, increased volunteerism, respect for human rights, inclusive development, greater social stability. Compassion helps create environments where cooperation and long-term prosperity become possible. Prosperity depends on human relationships. Economic growth alone cannot guarantee happiness or social stability. Prosperity is strongest when people trust one another, work together, and share responsibility for the common good. Businesses thrive when leaders treat employees fairly. Communities thrive when neighbors support one another. Nations thrive when citizens value justice, honesty, and compassion. The quality of human relationships ultimately influences the quality of society. A global responsibility. Teaching compassion should not be viewed as the responsibility of schools alone. It requires collaboration among parents, teachers, governments, universities, businesses, religious organizations, community leaders, media organizations, artists and filmmakers, civil society organizations. Each has the opportunity to encourage values that promote peace and mutual understanding. A vision for humanity. For more than 20 years, I have independently researched philosophy, sociology, human behavior, and the foundations of peaceful societies. This research led to the creation of the global movement to cultivate compassion, which promotes compassion education as a practical and sustainable pathway toward global peace and shared prosperity. I believe that lasting peace begins when compassion becomes part of everyday life, not only in personal relationships, but also in education, leadership, governance, business, and public policy. When compassion becomes a shared human value, peace becomes a realistic possibility rather than a distant dream. Conclusion. The future of humanity depends not only on innovation, but also on character. The next generation deserves an education that develops both knowledge and compassion. Teaching compassion can help create stronger families, more responsible citizens, healthier communities, ethical leaders, and more peaceful nations. If every child learns compassion, every community becomes stronger. If every community becomes stronger, every nation becomes more peaceful. And when nations choose compassion, the world moves closer to lasting peace and shared prosperity. Peace begins with education. Education begins with compassion. Compassion begins with each one of us. About the author. Imran Noaman, Mohammed Imran, is an entrepreneur, author, independent researcher, peace advocate, and founder of the global movement to cultivate compassion. Through more than 2 decades of independent research, he promotes compassion education as a practical foundation for global peace, human dignity, and sustainable human prosperity. Connect and learn more. Global Compassion. https://www.globalcompassion.world. Compassionate World. http://www.compassionateworld.world. Hamdard Dunya. http://www.hamdarddunya.org. Global Prosperity Films. https://www.globalprosperityfilms.com. LinkedIn. https://www.linkedin.com/in/Imran-Noaman/ Email rightways101@gmail.com. WhatsApp +971 502 46276. Founder Imran Noaman, Mohammed Imran. Join the global movement to cultivate compassion. If you believe that compassion should become a core value in education, families, workplaces, and public life, we invite you to support and share the global movement to cultivate compassion. Together, we can help build a future where peace is strengthened through compassion, education, cooperation, and respect for every human being. The path to a peaceful, united, and prosperous world begins when compassion becomes the foundation of education and everyday life.